this is how, data will travel through the OSI layer. We are interpreting from there through layer 1, then layer 2. But what if we were sending this data to a different computer on another network? All right. So this is a different computer. It's on a different network, and these networks are connected. I mean, they are separated by the internet, and then the connection is over the internet. It could be over. Let's just simplify. So it means that when the data gets to this switch is going to look around the local area network and say the destination address of the data coming in from here is not within here. It's not within my network. That's what the switch will say. It's not, I don't know where you are going. It's not within here. And then the switch is configured to say every time you don't know where data is going, then hand over to this guy. So it's going to connect to this guy, to this device here, and say there is data, there's a PDU coming in from here. At this layer, this data, this is switch, this layer 2. This is layer 1. This is layer 2. At layer 2, what are data called? Data being transmitted. What are they called when we are considering them at layer 2? We simply call them frames. Right? All right. So the switch is going to say, I don't know where this switch frame is going to. It's not going to computer 3. It's not going to computer 4. The destination address is not within this LAN. Therefore, it is going to forward it to this device. This device is called a router. So it will come to this router. The router is also connected to a port in the switch. So the switch will automatically switch. I mean, that's why it's called switch, to auto switch to this port, and the frame will go through this port and arrive at the router. So the router is at the entrance and exit of the network. So it comes into the network, and the router now looks at this level of router, that data that was called frame here is not called packet here. So the router now looks at the packet and says, oh, I know where you are going. I'll put you on the tray to that place. And then to give it to the transport layer, and transport layer will now transport it all the way through the internet, through fiber, through cable, whatever it is. And then it will be delivered to the destination address. At the destination address, this whole scenario is repeated. So there is a router at the entrance, there is a switch here, and that connects, and to the switch, all other computers are connected. So this is how packets, this is how data travel between layer 1 through layer 2 and layer 3 to destination. So this is the source network, this is the destination network. Anytime you are sending data within a network, and the destination address of that data, because it is labeled on the data, it is part of the data. So the data will look something like this. It will look like, let's just simplify it. It will carry the actual data that it is carrying. That actual data is called payload. And then to carry additional information like the source address, the source MAC address. At this level, we're not talking about IP addressing, because we are talking about systems within the same network. We refer to individual members of that family by their MAC address. But if we're talking about this system now relative to this system, which is on another network, then we'll be talking about the IP address. Please note. All right. So within the same network, we are all already belong to the same IP address. The unique name, the unique identifier will be MAC addresses, which is encrypted on the LAN card of this system. But if we're not talking this network relative to other networks, then unique identifier will be the IP address, which is comprised of the network part and so basically the payload is on the source packet. We'll have the source on the data. You have the payload, the actual data that is carrying. Actually, to differentiate that, let me just call this a PDU. So PDU contains the data, the source address, the destination address, the MAC address of the origin, a bit of other information. Anyway, the point I'm just trying to bring out from here is that this is how the 3 layers connect. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. every time when you see the practical we're going to do now, when they talk about packet and they are talking about, they talk about data, they are talking about MAC, it means they are talking specifically as it relates to a system. But when they mention IP address, which means they are referring to data at this layer, they are talking about how that data relates to another network. All right. So this is how to relate the actual network to the OSI model.